that you're the kind of person that they want to have work for them because you've already succeeded in doing a military career. Or
Exactly.
even if it wasn't an entire military career, just if you just did your 2 years and you did a tour of duty over in Afghanistan or Iraq, if you were just in the desert for your 13-month, 14-month, whatever, however long that tour is, you've already proven yourself.
Right.
You have proven that there's no pressure on any kind of a job in the civilian world that could ever amount to the kind of pressure you've already been under.
Well, and I know that I sound cranky, and I'm kind of holding folks' feet to the fire today, but the reality of the situation is I'm tired of our families being taken advantage of. I'm tired of our families not being made a priority. I'm just tired of our time being wasted as service members, service personnel, family of service members, family of veterans. I think sometimes the government takes for granted how much we've already given and figures we'll just keep taking more.
Mm-hmm. Well, people that separate from the military, now, do they get any kind of briefing? I know retirees, you get a 2-day TAP briefing. Woohoo! So, there's really not a lot of substance.
Yes.
There's not a lot of meat and potatoes in there. It's just
Yes.
basically a bunch of fluff.
When you separate, you get the same TAPS briefing.
My
It's the same
ETS didn't give that at all. My ETS was along the lines of, hey, thanks for being here. Actually, it wasn't even that. Sign
thing.
hereby.
But that's because you're old.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the new
You get a
military
new
does it.
thing now, huh?
Well, I mean, for us, it was 2 days of, well, your husband has to go to work for this TAPS briefing, and it's the only one he can get into, so you go sit and write this stuff down for him. So I got to sit in the class for him. He didn't even get to go the first day, so when he got out of the military, he totally missed the resume writing thing, so I've been stuck doing that.
Resume writing thing?
They
taught you how to write a resume?
They did. They taught us how to write a resume. Well, they gave us the outline for it, and then the Family Support Center would actually help in the Air Force. They would help you. I wrote it, and then they tweaked it for us. But it was just, the whole thing, like I said, it was just, you really didn't know where to turn or what to do. I mean, there were so many things that we were, misinformed about when we retired. We thought, we didn't realize, hey, we're going to take a lot of your retirement if you want to keep your SGLI and da-da-da-da-da, and it was like, woo!
See, for me, being old, all I got to do was scramble to find the few pieces of TA-50 I was missing and turn it in again. I had to go and buy it to replace it.
Wow.
The mess kit. I was missing my mess kit, apparently. Somebody.
Shame on you. You made a mess
somewhere.
of things.
Yes.
Anyway, before we run out of time, we have a few minutes left, and you were going to tell us about a cat.
Oh, Sal the cat. Yeah.
I need some uplifting news because I'm tired of talking about the economy and job troubles, and it just gets me all fired up and depressed. I need happy news.
We need
Well,
something to
I don't know
laugh
that
at.
it's happy news,
Well,
but
I'm
It's
done with
something to
stinking
laugh-
thinking. Give us something good.
seriously, I mean, come on. It's a story about Sal the cat in Boston, Massachusetts. That these people had put their cat on their long form. What is the census? Their long form census thing. It says under pets. There's a section for you to name your pets. So they put Sal. They crossed out dog and put cat. Okay.
Oh,
they get a
no.
notification in the mail from the courts, which says that Sal the cat has been summoned for jury duty.
Nice.
And Sal the cat must attend. So they thought that'd be a really good idea to call the court ahead of time to let the court know that Sal was actually a cat. And they had to get a veterinarian's letter
You have
saying,
to be kidding.
"Oh, I'm not done yet." No, I'm not kidding. It's like this says that the animal was a domestic short-haired neutered feline.
Wow.
And armed with all that information, the court says that Sal still must appear for jury duty. Sal must appear at the Superior Court in Boston on March 23rd.
How'd you like to be the guy on that death penalty case whose fate lies in the hands of a cat's meow?
I would have never really argued it beyond the fact that I called him up and said he's a cat, or she's a cat actually, and then when they said you still have to bring him, I would have just been so happy to do that. Oh yes, I'm going to bring my cat down because you've insisted that I have to.
Well, you even
I would
let
have took
him
the press with me.
Oh, the press would have been there, that's for sure. The news cameras, everybody.
Will they even let them in the courthouse since there's that thing on the door that says no pets allowed except service dogs?
I don't know. There is that too. So Oh my goodness, talk about the quandary. They have demanded that you show up with the cat, and then they won't let you in.
But I want to know.
That would be perfect.
What kind of handcuffs?
Perfect.
What kind of handcuffs are they going to
perfect.
use on that cat when they go to arrest it if it don't show up for jury duty?
I don't know. I hope it's declawed for that bailiff's sake.
I know, but it's an order from the Superior Court. They know it's a cat.
We did a story on where they sent the census though to be processed that where they were putting the information in from. Do you remember where that was? I can't remember. It was like we thought it was going to be like local jobs or something, and they actually had outsourced it somewhere.
Oh, to India or somewhere.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I'm so sick of American jobs being taken.
Well, think
and
about
if you call my house and you don't even speak English, I'm not answering your questions about where the heck I live and who lives there.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
happening.
I mean, look at it. Somebody probably couldn't speak English.
I'm not
Misput-
answering
put
that
the
anyway
in-
if you call speaking English, though, to be quite honest. But go on.
But I mean, think about it. It went to a country that doesn't even understand our language, probably doesn't read our language very well, and then it just got put in wrong, and then it's all a big thing. If they'd have kept it here, wouldn't have happened.
No, it
but
wouldn't have
it's
happened.
beyond getting put in wrong. The courts know it's a cat.
Right, and they're still saying the cat
Yeah,
must
I mean,
appear.
come on now.
I'd be like, he's in contempt. Come, he's already neutered. What else you gonna do to him?
Right.
They could euthanize him. The
I
cat
don't
gets
know
the
that
death
the cat
penalty
can
for
get the
treason.
death penalty, could it?
I don't
Oh,
know.
no.
Who knows? What else do you have over
No
there?
more kitty toys.
Well, I've got a couple of other interesting things here right now. For instance, did you hear what the state of Virginia did on January the 12th, 2011, in regards to currency?
Do I really want to know? Am I just going to get all fired up again?
I don't know if you're going to get fired up again, but it will give food for thought.
513-749-1444 if Joe gets you fired up.
Go ahead.
It appears that the Virginia State House has created a subcommittee to investigate whether or not the Commonwealth should adopt a currency of its own to serve as an alternative to the distributed currency of the Federal Reserve System
Wow.
in the event of a major breakdown of the Federal Reserve System.
Wow.
Now,
Can they do that?
oh yes, of course they can. There's nothing that
Because
says
they're
any
a
state.
commonwealth.
Nothing says any state cannot issue its own currency as well.
Wow.
But this is the first time since the Civil War that any state has ever actually considered such an event. And one of the reasons that I thought that this was noteworthy was the fact that it's Virginia, which is right next to Washington, D.C., and these people travel in the same circles. I'm wondering, is there something that Virginia knows that the rest of us don't
I
know?
considered that too while you were talking, Joe.
What is it that's making Virginia decide to suddenly say, you know, we're going to consider issuing our own currency
But you know,
just in case our federal currency collapses?
there's a lot of states that are talking about bankruptcy.
Right. That's another thing that's going on right now. For a state to go bankrupt is unheard of. I mean, could you imagine what would happen if a state actually goes bankrupt? You know, all these bonds, the municipal bonds of the
Right.
states and the cities and everything, and they're gone. They're gone. Everyone that held these bonds is out of luck, totally out of luck.
You want to know my theory on this? And I want you to mark my words because it's going to happen. What's the best way for a company to union bust?
The best way for a company to union bust.
Is to go bankrupt.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So what are these cities and states doing?
Oh, yeah, well, that
They're
is
going
part of it.
bankrupt, which
Yeah.
will bust their unions
And the
that are
pensions,
your,
too.
and their pensions that are
Right.
your police, that are your, you know, whatever, city workers. These folks could show up to work one day and be told, sorry, we went bankrupt.
Oh,
And it breaks the union contract.
along those very same lines, Berkeley, California. Did you know that Berkeley, California, the city of Berkeley right now, is facing $252.8 million in deficits for pensions alone,
Wow.
disability and workers' compensation? They are talking about still setting aside, and this just absolutely kills me, a set aside of $20,000 per year per city employee just in case they want to have sex reassignment surgery.
What?
Yes! This is in case anyone in the city that works for the city of Berkeley wants to have sexual reassignment surgery. Let's say you're a man and you feel that you've been a woman trapped in a man's body your entire life. Well, Berkeley, California says that they'll pay for that.
Look, I'm not saying that we should discriminate against anyone, but do we draw the line on what we pay for?
That's elective. That's like getting breast implants.
Exactly. I don't pay for anybody's boobies either.
Exactly.
But
What are they going to do? Lorena Bobbitt? They're going to sew it back on for people then when people get mad?
Whoa. And yes,
Got you fired up, didn't I?
that was Kelly again. Direct all calls and comments. No, the state of Kentucky has gone the opposite. God love the Commonwealth. Do you know they're now going to drug test people on welfare
Yay.
to make sure that they're not using drugs and sitting
But they're
around
giving them
all
notice.
out?
Don't give them notice. Make it random and do it like the military.
Look, I'm
make them.
thrilled they're doing it.
Look, make them go in there, make them watch you pee, because people that do drugs know how to beat it. I have heard people talk about taking a baggie and that has urine in it from their children and sticking it in their pants to keep it warm, and then releasing it to go take a drug test for jobs. So you know what? I said, make it like the military. They watched y'all pee in a cup.
513-749-1444.
If we weren't running out of time, I could have an argument on that one too with you.
Ooh, Joe, getting all
Really?
I could, very much
But
so,
see,
yes.
I think that
You don't think they should be watched to go to the bathroom and pee if they're on assistance?
It depends on what kind of assistance we're talking about
You're
here.
talking welfare and food stamps.
Welfare and food stamps? Possibly.
people
but
sell
what if you
their
have...
food stamps to buy drugs.
Amen.
I understand that.
And cigarettes and beer and stuff they don't
I want to see
need.
them tested for alcohol too.
Yeah, you know
Or I
what?
want to see places not accept food stamps for alcohol.
Food,
Well,
they
there
shouldn't
you go.
get food stamps. It should be like a WIC program. They should be able to go in and get milk and cereal and bread and things they need to eat for that amount of time. It shouldn't be that they're
Not steak and
unlimited and they can go buy
Right.
sodas and steak. I ain't eating steak.
However-
Okay, and I work.
What would you feel about somebody that was on disability that happened to be suffering from an incredibly painful, horrifying type of disease that smoked marijuana?
Yeah, but disability
But they're on
isn't food
Medicare
stamps.
disability.
But that's not food stamps. You're not
And
getting
let's
food
say,
stamps.
well, let me just continue onward.
We're not talking a disability. We're
If
talking
you're
people
on-
that are on public assistance.
Well, if you're on Medicare disability, there's a lot of people that do consider that to be public assistance. And also, a lot of people on Medicare disability, since it's Social Security disability, they qualify for food stamps.
But you know what? There's so many people that are abusing the disability system, and then
Oh, I'm not saying
there are a
there's
lot
not
of
abuse.
people.
I agree with you completely. There's tons of abuse, and that abuse needs to stop.
Right.
Well, people,
Absolutely.
you're going to have to take the argument to Facebook because we're out of time. Join Joe and Kelly on Facebook as these arguments continue all week long.
Back and forth.
You can also text us at 859-802-1225. Check us out on the web at www.militarymomiesradioshow.com. And stay tuned next week, 5 to 6 p.m., WAIF 88.3 FM or www.waif883.org. And I can't help it. I got to take you out with some Johnny Cash Folsom Prison Blues because that's kind of how I'm feeling after today's show.
I can't believe I have dirty jeans. I didn't know they were dirty.
Might want to edit that last part. Here, it's still on. I don't know how to turn it off. It's on. I don't know how to turn it off.
Do we want to turn it off? There's Joe. We're taking him out with Folsom Prison Blues.
You gotta edit.
Hell
You
yeah.
talked about dirty
That was
jeans.
Joe Wahler and his dirty jeans.
My dirty jeans.
Joe's wife Sandy, who let him go out of the house with dirty jeans. Crazy Kelly.
And
Not
we're
me.
going to the theater tonight, too. We're going to dinner at the theater.
And this is our equipment, 88.3 FM in Cincinnati.
Kind of primitive.